Welcome back to the Big Sunday Show. We are celebrating the meaning of service on this July 4th weekend. To mark the holiday, Joey reunites with two fellow Marines he was deployed with more than a decade ago.
It was 12 years ago that we were all deployed together in Afghanistan. What's it like to keep doing the job today, knowing the sacrifice paid by your brothers and sisters back then?
Why did the guys do what they did? And you already touched on that. Like, what made you want to be a bomb tech? You know, and at some point you do it because you're doing it for your country, right? You're signing up for the Marine Corps. You're doing, you want to do great things for America. And then at some point, like there's a transition there that is like I'm now doing this for the guy on my left or my right or my team.
Wow, Joey, what was that like to reunite with those two guys? I'm sure it was very emotional and very special to sit down and talk to them.
You know, I've made the trek out to First Company, which is the name of that unit. The military works in a hierarchy. Usually a company is a part of a bigger unit. Mm-hmm. The EOD program's so small that First Company is kind of a standalone unit of less than 100 Marines that provide EOD support for all ground operations for 1st Marine Division, which is basically the West Coast of Marines. So that one company of when I was in about 80 Marines would handle the responsibility of EOD work for Marine Corps in Afghanistan for a whole year.
Wow.
And so we'd divide in half, spend about 30, 40 of us at a time and change over. The officer in charge there, the bald-headed guy in the middle, Drew Cheatham, he was a butter bar or a brand new warrant officer, and I was a brand new sergeant. Matt Jackson, the other guy there, was a crusty sergeant, and we all deployed together. You come back years later now, Cheatham is about to be in charge of the Marine Corps, all the Marine EOD elements at Camp Pendleton, which is 3 different units, and Matt Jackson is running a program that I can't even talk about. It's so new and sophisticated as a master sergeant. To see those guys succeed in their job and to know how hard they worked. I mean, hundreds of IEDs they've taken apart with their bare hands, dozens of deployments, and they're so humble. And it's still just all it means to them is they get to serve their country. I mean, Matt's a master sergeant. He'll never get paid like an officer will, much less for the work he's doing to write a program for the Marine Corps, and he spent 20 years doing it. These men are just 2 of dozens, if not hundreds, that I got to serve alongside and really be kind of at the bottom of that pyramid and to support them and to be mentored by them and to go back and tell just a little bit of their story in what I consider to be the most dangerous job in the military.
Wow.
Brings tears to my eyes. That's how proud I am.
Joey, so what's the morale like now when you reunite with these gentlemen and they see the landscape of our country, the landscape of the world? Are they optimistic? Are they negative? What is the feeling?
They're still active duty, so I'm not going to get into too much about what their personal thoughts are, but what I'll tell you is anytime you come back from war and a war ends, it gets tougher. Because the bigger military, or in this case the big Marine Corps, they get to worry about the cross the T's and dot the I's stuff, like is your body fat percentage in line anymore? Are your uniforms as nice and tucked away? Are you standing duty? Things that are important in garrison, but when you're fighting a war, especially when there's not enough of you, so you're going every 12 months, it's hard for them to be on your back about these little nuanced things. And when they come back in and they're worried about those things again, it just makes you feel like, hey, I just spent my whole career fighting a war, and now you're worried about if my haircut is proper. And so it's a tough transition for all of them, not just DOD, but any combat arms, because they've carried such a burden on their shoulders of going to funerals and going to memorials and training for the next deployment. And now it's like, is the grass mowed? And so it's harder to get into that mentality. Thankfully for their job, the operational side of it is just going to expand. There's still a lot going on that they have to be forward deployed on, and so they're still very much focused on that.
How do they see balance, Joey, with their family when they come back, the family support that they have, besides the military, the love of the military is their family, but what about the outside forces that provide support? Can you explain?
It's incredibly difficult. The military life is incredibly difficult on families, especially in a job where you take bombs apart for a living, because when they come back, they do things like skydive and race dirt bikes and things like that. But the Marine Corps, we're proud Marines. We're absolutely, the Marine Corps is a community. The EOD field is a even smaller community. Talking about the extended Marine Corps, we have a dog named Chesty, named after Chesty Puller. That's our mascot, an English Bulldog, and he's actually going to be on Fox and Friends tomorrow morning. Look at this. This is Chesty 16. He's about to replace Chesty 15. That's our mascot, and I tell you what, it couldn't get English Bulldog.
Is he in competition with the Georgia Bulldog? The college.
I went to Georgetown. I'm a Hoya Saxa Bulldog. I'm from Georgia. I'm a Georgia Bulldog. And I went to the Marine Corps. Like, English Bulldogs are a part of who I am.
Well,
So you like them all.
I love them all.
Good.
And I have a Frenchie because English are too big.
It's part of who you are, but not quite.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm 3/4 of a guy.
All right.
I've got 3/4 of an English Bulldog.
we're looking forward to seeing more and learning more about Chesty.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.